12 meters? Who chooses 12 meters? I don't even have an antenna for 12 meters. All right, let's figure this out. Stick around and we'll get right to it. So the tech prepper reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to participate in his No Random Contacts series that he's been working on for the last several months. And of course, I said yes. A few days later, I received a very detailed and well thought out communications plan. And while reviewing that comms plan, I noticed he had chosen 12 meters for this attempt. Now, 12 meters is never a band that comes to my mind first when we're talking about making a long-distance contact such as Tennessee to Arizona. So I headed over to the vocap.com website to double-check some of this information. And sure enough, 12 meters would give us about a 99% chance of having a successful QSO. Now, one challenge for me was I don't even have an antenna that will do 12 meters that I carry into the field on a regular basis. So I went ahead and grabbed my field repair kit. I like to use it even when I'm in the shack, when I'm building things or repairing things, because it helps me identify any deficiency in that field repair kit. So I went over to the field repair kit, I grabbed a hank of wire and a dipole center connector. I then went over to the Raspberry Pi, pulled open the dipole calculator, and looked up the length that I would need for each leg of the dipole. Went ahead and got everything put together with the antenna, and then headed outside to double check the SWR. After trimming it a couple of different times, I got a great looking SWR. So now, let's see how all of this preparation and planning plays out. All right, so I've got the station set up. Now, I'd originally intended to operate outside in the backyard. Unfortunately, it has been pouring rain all morning here with more showers going to be moving through. I didn't really feel like setting up a tent and whatnot, so I just decided to operate here from the table. That did present a few challenges because this is a temporary antenna. I did need to get that up outside in the backyard, which meant I had to run a little bit more coax than I originally intended. It's LMR 195 that I'm running, which at roughly 30 megahertz, it's got about 2 dB of loss. That's per 100 feet. Now, we're not quite operating up that high at 30 megahertz. We're only at 24,970, but call it 2 dB of loss. The good side of that is I'm only running about 25 feet of coax, so that's going to give me probably half a dB or so of loss, so probably 10 to 15%. So if I'm getting 100 watts out of the radio, that's going to leave us with about 85 watts to work with. So we're a few minutes before the scheduled QSO time. Let's see, we're about 10 minutes out before the scheduled QSO time. The primary plan here is to work 12 meters, and we will be doing that at 1700 Zulu, 1705, and 1710. We will be moving between 3 different frequencies just in case someone else is occupying that space on the band, or if we've got some sort of local interference. As of just a couple of minutes ago, there was a DX station working some contacts on our first scheduled frequency, so I'm assuming that he'll still be there, and we're going to have to move down to the second frequency. Now, if the first 3 don't work, we will be moving to 20 meters to make another attempt. Now, again, I'm at a bit of a deficiency here. I don't have 20 meters. I only cut this dipole for 12 meters. So what I'm going to do in that case is I will go back to my primary operating position here in the house, and I'll go ahead and use the ICOM 705. I'll be limited to 10 watts, but I will have my normal in-fed antenna up. Now, as an alternate plan, we will be moving back to 12 meters, and instead of using voice, we will be moving to a digital mode using FL Digi. So we'll have to see how this goes. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make this contact on the first attempt or the second attempt anyway. But if that doesn't go through, we will be falling back to digital. Now, he also does have an emergency and a contingency plan built into this comms plan. The contingency would be to use WinLink. I know I will have zero issues getting into the local gateway to be able to pass that. The emergency portion of the plan is probably the only section I would have personally changed if I was going to change anything. He chose to use APRS as the last-ditch effort, and that'll work fine, provided you've both got good APRS coverage. If it was me that was laying out this game plan, I would have probably chosen JS8 call in the slow mode as the last-ditch effort, because often that's going to get through when absolutely nothing else will. It's right down there with Whisper being able to get through. So we'll see how this goes. That scheduled contact is about 7 minutes away, so we'll be right back with you guys when the first time slot rolls around. All right, so we're about 45 seconds away from the scheduled QSO time. As you can probably hear in the background, that first frequency is occupied by a station MI0 or M0I, I'm not sure which, that's working several DX contacts. So we're not going to be able to use 970. And this is kind of the idea with putting together, let me cut that radio down just a little bit. That's kind of the idea of putting together a plan like this, because if you're trying to schedule this days or weeks in advance, you don't know what who might be on that frequency using it at the time you want to schedule that contact, or your scheduled contact rolls around. So you definitely want to have alternates that you can fall back on. So it looks like we will miss this one at 1700 Zulu. The next attempt is going to be in 5 minutes, and we will move down to 24965. So yeah, 24965 megahertz. So we'll give this about 5 minutes since we've missed this window with the frequency being occupied, and we'll try it again. KT7, are you in? KT7, are you in? This is KM4ACK. How copy? KT7, are you in? KT7, are you in? This is KM4ACK. How copy? Negative contact. Will QSY to 24.960. QSY. KM4ACK. Okay, so this is going to be the third attempt here at 24.960 megahertz. I've got zero noise on this particular frequency here at the home QTH. So hopefully this will go through here in just a second. If not,
Alpha Charlie Kilo from Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November.
Kilo Tango 7 Romeo Uniform November. This is Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Kilo QSL.
QSL, you are 5'9". Dude, you knocked it out of the park. How are you doing this morning, Jason?
Outstanding. I'm going to give you about a 4-1 from here. You're just barely moving the needle, but definitely glad to make the contact.
Weather conditions are 43 degrees and cloudy. Has been raining here all morning.
Acknowledge all. Thank you for the weather report. Local conditions are here 6.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear skies, nice and sunny. Back to you.
QSL, copy 56.3 degrees Fahrenheit. QSL?
Very good, sir. If you have some time, do you want to go ahead and see if we can do digital and move up the schedule?
Sure, that would be great. Let's continue here on 12 meters, and I can go ahead and QSY to
955, which is the first in the list, and attempt that digital contact. So there is a steady tone right around 2000 on the waterfall on my side, and I am still able to copy him even through all of that noise. So first transmission was almost absolutely perfect. I think we were missing one character in there, but it was good. Now, he did tell me that he is asking me to send. Again, he missed SNR. So we'll try that one more time and see if we can get that one to go through. Now, for this portion of the experiment, I am dropped down and I'm running about 30 watts. Take a little bit of a loss for the coax, and I'm probably getting somewhere between 30 and 35 watts to the antenna. We are running Contestia 2450, So pretty good mode for working weaker signals. I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick up that tone that's right at 2000 on the waterfall, but that is literally S5 there, and I am still decoding his transmission almost perfectly. He does want to go ahead and pass a WinLink message as well, but I'm not going to keep the video rolling for that. I think you guys have got a great idea now of how to come up with a game plan to make a pinpoint targeted contact. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.